And let me say, as I've always said, and I will always continue to say, that riots are socially destructive and self-defeating. I'm still convinced that nonviolence is the most potent weapon available to oppress people in their struggle for freedom and justice. I feel that violence will only create more social problems than they will solve, that in a real sense it is impractical for the Negro to even think of mounting a violent revolution in the United States. So I will continue to condemn riots and continue to say to my brothers and sisters that this is not the way. Continue to affirm that there is another way. But at the same time, it is as necessary for me to be as vigorous in condemning the conditions which cause persons to feel that they must engage in riotous activities as it is for me to condemn riots. I think America must see that riots do not develop out of thin air. Certain conditions continue to exist in our society which must be condemned as vigorously as we condemn riots. But in the final analysis, a riot is the language of the unheard. What is it that America has failed to hear? And it has failed to hear that large segments of white society are more concerned about tranquility and the status quo than about justice, equality, and humanity.
Filming, or are you just looking?
I'm filming.
Oh, wow.
Want to tell us where we're going?
We are going to the Deputy Public Defender protest or demonstration. I don't think it's going to be a walk or a march. It's going to be a demonstration in solidarity. And that's what we're going to do. It's really a demonstration in solidarity for all people who have been wrongfully incarcerated, mass incarcerated, and murdered at the hands of the police. And that's where we're going now. I'm sure that they're going to embrace all of that, and they're going to also embrace the fact that while people are being incarcerated and we have a coronavirus pandemic, they're being held, they're being overly detained, I feel, we all feel, because they've been mass incarcerated to begin with. They're not being released. They're being held on bail pending whatever case they might have, and that means that they haven't been convicted of anything, and they're still holding them. And they're going to hold a lot of people for this past week's demonstrations and for looting. And pretty sure, dollars to donuts, that some of those people are going to be unlawfully held or wrongfully held. They didn't loot. They may have just been there to peacefully protest. But once they start rounding people up, they're not concerned about that too much. Once they declared the state of emergency, which the county did, it pretty much gives the police officers carte blanche to start holding people, just rounding people up. So just going down here, really, at this point, it's at 12:15. Some of the cities, such as Santa Monica, have a 1 p.m. curfew. Curfew been imposed, state of emergency has been declared. So this is just going down here to be together is a real statement, I think. A statement of solidarity and a statement for change. Really, that's what is needed. Is some real solid change about how our criminal justice system works, which has for so long been unjust for so many people.
here organizing a union action because the struggle of labor and the struggle of racial justice are intertwined. And we're public defender union members. Can you hear me? Mm-hmm. Okay. We're public defender union members, and we feel like our work has daily brought us forward to confront the systemic racism and injustice that happens in the criminal justice system. And so we want to make sure that we're out here speaking out, showing our solidarity, and making sure the community knows that when the authoritative police state or the frenzy of police violence brings them into courthouses like the one behind us, that we're going to be on the front lines championing their civil liberties, pushing back against police violence, and also using whatever platform we have in the halls of power at City Hall, the Hall of Administration, to make sure we defund from the police and invest in communities to make them not only survive but thrive.
Right now there's a war against us from the White House. What they're trying to do is psychologically make the black person feel like they ain't shit. That's the reason why yesterday Trump made sure that he had his picture taken. That's not just random. That's mind fucking. So what I want us to do is to do the opposite right now. I want us to turn to each and every black person, personal, and literally tell them that they matter. I don't want this to be a screaming match. I want this to be personal. You understand? Because what we're facing right now is it's a traumatic event. So turn to your black friend, look him in the eye, and tell him you matter.
You matter.
Because America for so long wanted to divide us, but here we all are, fighting for this shit. So we see you, and we fucking acknowledge you, and fucking thank you. Yeah. And I want to say this to the media, because we got the media here. You've been pointing out at all these people that are looting. That's another way of you to manipulate this whole shit. There are multiple protesters, peaceful protesters, but you choose not to give them the time of the day. Look at these people, no one is looting. I hope that you give the same attention to looting as to these peaceful protesters right now, because we deserve that. And to all our white people that are racist, here's what I gotta tell you. Check yourself, man. Because all over the world, people are protesting. If you think you are right, then you got a fucking issue. Right? Thousands and thousands of people are protesting, telling you that you are wrong. What we're asking is more than Black Lives Matter. What we're asking is our humanity to be recognized. That's what we're asking. I know many people are drained, many people are tired, many people are hurt. So it is okay when you go home to be gentle with yourself, man. And that is important, because they don't teach us that. And the more we take these emotions and hold them in, the more it fucks us up in the long term. Trust me. So take your time, protest, but when you go home, take care of yourself. Because they want you to be emotionally fucked up. So you can go out there and be a fucking monster. But we're not gonna have that. Our lives matter. Black 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 lives matter.
unite together. My position is I'm not anti-police, I'm anti-police brutality. And the way to make those changes is to change the police system. And the way to get there is get that scum out of the White House. While he's in his bunker, we out here on the streets. While he's taking photo ops, we out here on the streets. We need to vote him out. And we got to do it through the democratic process and not turn into anarchy, looting, and rioting.
No matter what I do, I'm destined to die. Before I was born, I had a death sentence on me. And no matter what I do throughout my work, my life, whatever I do, you are able to kill me. They killed Fred Hampton in his sleep. They killed Fred Hampton in his sleep. The reason they don't teach you about the black prisoners, the reason they don't teach you about black history is that they don't want to let you know how they silence legitimate movements. They killed Fred Hampton in his sleep. They shot Martin Luther King in his face on a balcony. And they got away with it, and it's fine. And now we're here again. If you're actually out here and you want something to change, white people need to speak up for us. White people need to break curfew for us. They're not going to make you look like thugs and rowdy and beat your ass in the street and then edit the footage to make it look like you are a rowdy gangster. Do we need your white bodies breaking curfew, standing these lines, letting them know what our communities need? You have to stay there for us. I can sit here and shout it all day. It does not matter. We need your white voices. We need your white bodies. Thank you for emailing. Thank you for being here. Your white bodies need to be there and your white bodies need to stay there. Because every time you disperse from curfew, it does not, we get beat up. We get made look like rioters. We need white bodies. And we cannot leave at curfew. White bodies need to take a stance for us. Use your privilege. Use your privilege that we died for to help us.
Are caused by our nation's winters of delay. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Hush, hush, hush.